You are not here to chase. You are not here to plead. You are here to embody the energy that draws him in effortlessly. There is a secret that only a few truly understand. What you assume about him will shape how he responds to you. If you see yourself as the prize, he will too. If you believe you are cherished, adored, and irreplaceable, then in his mind you become a necessity, not an option. When you speak to him, speak as though his heart is already yours. Not with desperation, not with hope, but with the quiet confidence of a woman who knows. Say things that make him feel seen, understood. Things that make him feel like a king in your presence. But do not mistake admiration for surrender. A man becomes addicted not to a woman who gives everything, but to the woman who leaves space for his desire to grow. Every word you speak carries energy. Speak with warmth, but never overgive. Let your words be a reflection of your unshakable self-worth. Tell him, "You always make me feel safe," and watch how he rises to the occasion. Say, "I love the way you think," and see how he begins to share his mind with you, craving your validation. Do not beg for love. Do not over-explain yourself. Simply rest in the knowing that he is already drawn to you, already thinking about you, already feeling the magnetic pull of your presence. And if you do this, not from a place of need, but from the certainty that you are already the woman he cannot resist, then watch as he finds himself unable to look away. The way you see him, the way you speak to him, the way you hold him in your mind, this is the way he will respond to you. It has always been this way, though many fail to realize it. You believe a man's actions are independent of your own thoughts, that his affections are something to win, something to chase, something to be earned. But this is an illusion. You are not separate from him. You are the cause. He is the reflection. His devotion to you is not something you must struggle to obtain. It is something that arises naturally when you assume it to be so. Assumption is not mere wishful thinking. It is not pretending or playing a role. It is the conscious decision to accept as fact that which you desire. It is the unwavering belief that he already adores you, already longs for you, already feels the pull of your presence in his life. When you assume a man is indifferent, you will see proof of it everywhere. His delayed text, his distracted gaze, the way he seems to drift away instead of leaning in. But when you shift your assumption, when you decide that you are the woman he cannot resist, the center of his thoughts, the presence he craves, everything begins to change. You do not have to force it. You do not have to manipulate or strategize. You simply have to become the version of yourself who is already loved, already cherished, already deeply wanted. A man does not become addicted to a woman who needs his attention. He becomes addicted to the woman who assumes his attention is already hers. Not through arrogance, not through force, but through quiet, unshakable certainty. It is not about playing games. It is not about withholding affection or pretending to be something you are not. It is about knowing deep in your core that you are the woman he cannot bear to lose. If you believe that he is unsure about you, that he does not truly see your worth, then every action you take will reflect that belief. You will over-explain yourself, overcompensate, and unknowingly place yourself in the position of seeking his approval. But what happens when you reverse this? What happens when you assume that he already sees you as irreplaceable, that he already feels the weight of your absence when you are not around, that he already recognizes the unique presence you bring into his life? When you carry this assumption, everything shifts. The way you speak to him changes, not with desperation, not with the energy of someone hoping to be chosen, but with the confidence of a woman who knows she already is. You stop analyzing his every move because you no longer need to. You stop seeking reassurance because you are already assured. And the moment you stop seeking, the moment you stop chasing, is the moment he begins to feel an undeniable pull toward you. It is not your beauty alone that captivates a man. It is not your kindness, not your words, not even your actions. It is the energy behind them. It is the way you see yourself, and by extension, the way you assume he sees you. When you assume he adores you, you speak to him differently. Your voice carries certainty, warmth, and ease. You do not fear silence because you know he will return. You do not question his affections because you assume they are already there. This is the secret to deep connection. It is not found in effort, but in belief. It is not in trying harder, but in assuming it is already done. A man becomes addicted to the woman who believes without question that she is the one, not the woman who hopes, not the woman who waits for proof, but the woman who simply knows. When you hold this assumption, when you carry yourself as though his love is already secured, the world rearranges itself to reflect your belief. His actions shift, his words align, and suddenly what once seemed uncertain becomes inevitable. This is not magic. This is not manipulation. This is simply the way creation works. You are not here to wonder if he loves you. You are here to decide that he does. Do not ask. Do not plead. Do not wonder if he feels the way you desire. Speak as if it is already true. The moment you step into certainty, the moment you claim what is already yours, the world will rearrange itself to reflect your assumption. A man does not fall in love through logic alone. He is not drawn in by effort, nor does he crave what is desperately seeking him. He responds to energy, to confidence, to the quiet knowing of a woman who does not ask but expects. This is not arrogance, it is assurance. It is the understanding that you do not need to prove your worth to him, because in your reality, he already knows it. Your words are powerful, but not just because of what they mean. It is the energy behind them, the certainty they carry, that shapes how he responds to you. When you ask, "Do you love me?" you reveal doubt. When you say, "I know you adore me," you declare a truth that his subconscious will seek to align with. A man does not become addicted to a woman who questions her place in his life. He becomes addicted to the woman who speaks with the unwavering confidence of someone who knows she is already chosen. The way you speak should not imply desire, it should imply fulfillment. Instead of saying, "I wish you would prioritize me," say, "I love how you always make me feel like a priority." Instead of asking, "Do you miss me?" say, "I know you can't stop thinking about me." These words are not about manipulation, they are about assumption. The way you frame your words shapes the way he sees you. If you express doubt, he will begin to question as well. But if you speak as if his love is unquestionable, as if his devotion is a given, he will feel it on a level deeper than thought. He will not know why, but he will begin to act in ways that align with your certainty. He is captivated by you not because you ask him to be, but because you assume that he already is. You do not ask, "Do you like me?" You say, "I love how much you enjoy being around me." You do not ask, "Will you call me later?" You say, "I know you can't wait to hear my voice again." Every word you speak affirms the reality you have chosen, and reality, in turn, will shape itself to match your assumption. This does not mean you must speak these words aloud to him at all times. More powerful than what you say to him is what you say to yourself. In your mind, what is the story you are telling? Are you hoping he chooses you, or are you already chosen? Are you wondering if he will love you, or are you certain that he already does? Your internal dialogue creates the external experience. A man will respond to you based on how you assume he feels. If in your mind he is distant, he will be. If in your mind he is devoted, he will act accordingly. This is not manipulation, it is creation. It is the understanding that reality is simply a mirror reflecting the beliefs you hold as true. You do not need to convince him, you only need to decide. Decide that he already desires you, already cherishes you, already feels drawn to you in ways he cannot explain, and then speak, act, and move through the world as the woman who knows this to be true. When you do this, you will no longer wonder if he feels the way you desire. You will simply watch as he begins to show you that he always has. A man does not become addicted to a woman. He becomes addicted to the way she makes him feel. It is not just her beauty, her charm, or even her presence. It is the emotions she awakens within him. The words you speak to him, the way you make him feel when he is around you, are what keep you lingering in his mind long after you have left the room. Words are not just sounds, they are energy. They hold the power to inspire, to comfort, to draw someone closer without them even realizing why. The way you speak to a man shapes the emotional bond he feels with you. If your words evoke admiration, warmth, and belonging, he will associate those emotions with you. He will seek them. He will crave them. Every time you speak to him, you are planting seeds in his mind. Some women plant doubt, insecurity, and frustration without realizing it. They speak from fear, fear of losing him, fear of not being enough, fear of not being chosen, and so they question, they demand, they seek constant reassurance. But in doing so, they push him further away. A man does not become addicted to uncertainty. He becomes addicted to a woman who makes him feel safe, admired, and deeply desired. When you speak, let your words wrap around him like a warm embrace. Let them remind him of his strength, his potential, his worth. Tell him, I love the way your mind works. I admire the way you handle challenges. You make me feel so protected and at ease. These are not just compliments. They are affirmations of his identity. They make him feel like the man he wants to be, strong, capable, irreplaceable. And when a man feels like the best version of himself around you, he will not want to let you go. But admiration alone is not enough. A man does not just want to be respected, he wants to be wanted. He wants to feel the pull of your desire, the weight of your longing. This is why the way you speak to him should not be neutral, it should be felt. Instead of a simple, I miss you, say, I can't stop thinking about the way you look at me. Instead of, I like spending time with you, say, I love how I feel when I'm with you. Do you see the difference? One is factual, the other is emotional. One states a condition, the other creates an experience. A man may forget what you say, but he will never forget how your words make him feel. Do not be afraid to express longing, but do it from a place of certainty, not lack. Speak in a way that assumes he is already drawn to you, already captivated by your presence. Instead of asking, do you miss me, say, I know you can't wait to see me again. Instead of wondering if he desires you, say, I love the way you look at me. These words do not just describe reality, they create it. They place him in the experience of missing you, of wanting you, of needing to be near you. There is another layer to this. A man does not just crave passion, he craves peace. In a world that constantly demands his energy, he will always return to the place that makes him feel at ease. Your words should not just excite him, they should soothe him. Let him know, I feel so calm when I'm with you, or I love the way you make everything feel effortless. These words tell him that you are not another demand in his life, you are his refuge, and a man will always return to the place where he feels most at home. Speak with warmth, with admiration, with certainty. Let your words be a soft place for him to land, a reminder of his power, and a reflection of the passion you share. When you do, he will not just think of you, he will feel you, long for you, and crave the emotions that only you can awaken in him. Every word you speak carries an energy that is far more powerful than the words themselves. It is not just what you say, but the feeling behind it that shapes how others respond to you. When you speak with certainty, with unwavering confidence, the subconscious mind of the person listening absorbs that energy and reflects it back to you. But when you speak with insecurity, hesitation, or desperation, that energy is also absorbed, and it repels rather than attracts. A man does not fall in love with words alone. He falls in love with the feeling those words create. You could say all the right things, but if they come from a place of neediness or doubt, they will not land the way you want them to. The subconscious mind registers confidence, not desperation. It responds to what is assumed, not what is begged for. This is why you must speak as if what you desire is already yours. When you ask, "Do you love me?" you communicate uncertainty. You are seeking reassurance, which implies that you are unsure of your place in his life. But when you say, "I love how you always show me how much you care," you are making a statement, not asking a question. You are affirming a reality, and in doing so, you subtly guide his subconscious to align with that truth. He will begin to embody what you assume. A confident woman does not seek validation, she assumes it. She does not wait for a man to confirm his feelings before she feels secure. Instead, she speaks and acts from a place of already knowing. And because she knows, the world around her shifts to reflect her belief. A man feels her certainty and he responds to it. Not because she is forcing him to, but because confidence is magnetic. Desperation, on the other hand, has the opposite effect. It creates pressure, and pressure makes people pull away. When you over-explain, over-apologize, or overcompensate, it signals to the subconscious mind that something is off balance. Instead of drawing him closer, it makes him feel the weight of your need for reassurance, and that weight can become suffocating. Think about how energy feels when you are around someone who is uncertain and anxious. It creates tension, an uneasiness that makes you want to step back. Now, think about being around someone who is fully assured, calm, and self-possessed. There is a sense of ease in their presence, an unshakable energy that makes you trust them without question. This is the energy that captivates. So how do you embody this in your words? You remove doubt. You stop phrasing things as questions that seek validation, and instead you speak as if everything you desire is already unfolding. You replace "Do you miss me?" with "I know you're thinking about me." You stop saying "I hope we're okay," and instead affirm "We always find our way back to each other." This shift is subtle but powerful. It tells his subconscious that there is nothing missing, nothing to fix, nothing to chase. And when he does not feel pressured, he feels free to be drawn in by you naturally. More than anything, it is the energy behind your words that dictates the response you receive. You can say, "I know you love me," but if you say it with nervousness, as if you are trying to convince yourself, it will not hold power. But if you say it with absolute certainty, as if it is simply a fact, his subconscious will begin to align with it. This is not about controlling another person, it is about understanding the laws of assumption and energy. The way you speak creates the reality you experience. If you want to be adored, speak as someone who is already adored. If you want devotion, speak as if it is already present. When you do this, you will notice a shift, not just in him, but in yourself. You will feel lighter, more assured, and more at peace. And that peace, that confidence will become irresistible. Not because you are trying to make it so, but because when you know your worth, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. A man will cherish the woman who makes him feel like the highest version of himself. He will crave the presence of the one who sees him not just as he is, but as he desires to be. But there is a fine line between making a man feel like a king and losing your own throne in the process. To truly captivate him, you must give warmth, admiration, and devotion, but always in a way that keeps him reaching for more. Many women believe that the way to a man's heart is through constant giving, giving attention, giving validation, giving all of themselves. But a man does not become addicted to a woman who gives everything too easily. He becomes addicted to the one who knows how to balance admiration with mystery, affection with independence, closeness with distance. She is the one he cannot fully figure out. the one whose energy is not desperate but magnetic. A king values what is rare, he treasures what he must earn. When you give too much without him having to work for it, he subconsciously begins to devalue it, not because he does not appreciate you, but because human nature does not cherish what is handed over without effort. But when you give in a way that is intentional, when your admiration is selective, when your presence is something to be earned, he will hold you in the highest regard. Speak to him in a way that uplifts him, but never in a way that makes you small. Instead of saying, "I'm nothing without you," say, "You bring out the best in me." Instead of, "I would do anything for you," say, "I love the way we make each other better." These words communicate devotion, but they also communicate self-worth. They let him know that while you admire him, you also recognize your own value. Make him feel strong, make him feel capable, make him feel like the man he aspires to be. Tell him, "I admire the way you handle challenges. I feel safe when I'm with you. You have such a powerful presence." These words create a reality for him. They allow him to step into the role of a king, to embody the strength and confidence you reflect back to him. But always remember, a queen does not kneel to make a king feel powerful. She stands beside him, and in doing so, she reminds him that she is his equal. This is why mystery is so essential. The moment a man feels like he completely understands you, the chase is over, the intrigue fades. A woman who is too predictable, too available, too easy to access, loses the very essence that makes her captivating. Keep a part of yourself just out of reach. Not in a way that is distant or cold, but in a way that keeps him curious. Let him feel your warmth, but never let him believe he fully possesses you. Do not tell him everything at once. Let your life have layers that he must uncover over time. Keep some thoughts to yourself, some dreams unspoken, some plans that do not revolve around him. Let him wonder what you are thinking, what you are doing, what excites you beyond him. A man does not want to be your entire world. He wants to be drawn into a world that already exists, a world that is full and vibrant, with or without him. When you balance admiration with self-respect, devotion with mystery, warmth with independence, you create an energy that is impossible to resist. He will not only feel like a king in your presence, but he will also recognize that you are a queen in your own right. And a man who values himself will never risk losing a woman who knows her worth. So give him a love that makes him feel strong, powerful, and deeply desired, but never lose yourself in the process. Keep him reaching, keep him intrigued, and he will never want to let you go. The words you speak to him matter, but the words you speak to yourself about him matter even more. Your inner dialogue is the silent force shaping your reality, the unseen energy that dictates how he responds to you. If, in your mind, he is already captivated by you, if you assume with unwavering certainty that he desires you deeply, he will unconsciously conform to that assumption. The mind is the creator of all things. It is not external effort or manipulation that draws a man closer, but the way you see him and the way you see yourself in relation to him. If you constantly worry, what if he loses interest? What if he doesn't love me as much as I love him? You are impressing those fears onto your reality. And because your assumptions shape your experiences, he will begin to reflect those very doubts back to you. But if instead your inner dialogue is one of absolute confidence, he is drawn to me effortlessly. He thinks about me constantly. He cannot imagine his life without me. Then that belief begins to take root not only in your mind, but in his subconscious as well. Without even realizing why, he will feel a pull toward you, a need to be near you, to seek your presence, to cherish you. A man does not simply fall for a woman because of what she says or does. He falls for the energy she holds within herself. If you see yourself as irreplaceable, if you assume that you are the prize, the gift, the one he has been searching for, then he will experience you in that way. But if you place him on a pedestal while doubting your own worth, the imbalance will be felt. And anything that feels unbalanced, anything that carries the energy of neediness or fear, will push him away rather than draw him closer. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It is absorbing every thought you entertain, every belief you hold about this man and about your connection with him. If you constantly think, "I hope he texts me," you are living in the energy of lack, an energy that signals to the universe that something is missing. But if instead your inner dialogue affirms, "Of course he reaches out to me, he loves talking to me, he can't resist checking in," then that assumption sets the tone for your reality. The way he treats you is a reflection of your dominant thoughts. If you believe he is distant, he will show you distance. If you believe he is uninterested, his actions will mirror that belief. But if you assume he is captivated by you, that he finds you irresistible, that he loves and respects you, he will begin to align with that reality. This is not about forcing someone to act a certain way. It is about understanding that people naturally conform to the way you see them. When you hold a belief strongly enough, it influences your energy, your words, your presence. You do not need to say a word. The shift happens on a deeper level. Think about a time when you felt completely confident, when you walked into a room knowing your value. People responded to you differently, didn't they? They sensed your self-assurance, your ease, your magnetism. That same principle applies here. If you hold the assumption that you are deeply loved, that you are desired beyond measure, then the man in your life will begin to experience you that way. So take control of your inner dialogue. Speak to yourself in a way that aligns with the love you wish to receive. Stop entertaining thoughts of doubt or fear. Instead, replace them with powerful, unwavering affirmations. He is obsessed with me in the best way. He cherishes me and treats me like his greatest treasure. He is always thinking about me, drawn to me in ways he cannot explain. The more you impress these truths onto your subconscious, the more they will take root in your reality. You do not need to chase, beg, or struggle. You only need to assume, with absolute certainty, that what you desire is already yours. And as you do, you will watch as the world, and he, conforms to that assumption. In the end, everything comes back to the power of assumption, the energy behind your words, and the reality you create within yourself. A man does not become addicted to a woman because of desperate efforts or manipulation. He becomes addicted to the way she makes him feel, to the confidence she carries, to the mystery she holds, and to the belief she has in her own worth. When you speak as if it is already true, when your inner dialogue aligns with the reality you desire, he will unconsciously conform to that vision. Your energy, your certainty, and the way you see him will shape the way he responds to you. You do not need to chase, beg, or prove yourself. You only need to embody the belief that he is already yours. Balance admiration with self-respect. Give warmth, but keep him reaching. Make him feel like a king, but never lose your own throne. Hold within you the unwavering assumption that he cherishes you, desires you, and cannot imagine his life without you. And you will see this unfold in your reality. Thank you for allowing these words to reach you. May you step into your power and create the love you truly deserve. Close your eyes for a moment and forget where you are. Forget your current bank balance, your job, your debts. None of these matter because they are simply reflections of past thoughts. Right now, we step into a new reality, one where you are already a millionaire. What does it feel like to have an endless flow of wealth, not to chase money, but to know it is always there? Imagine waking up in a home of your choosing with no concerns about bills, no hesitation before making a purchase, no fear of financial instability. You are free, the weight is gone, the air feels different. This is your new life. The greatest misconception about wealth is that it is something you attain, but true wealth is a state of mind and energy, a consciousness. Those who are rich in the world first became rich in their imagination. They felt wealthy before the physical evidence appeared. Let yourself step into that state. Let the sensation of financial ease settle in your body. Move with the quiet confidence of someone who knows abundance is their birthright. Do not ask how this will happen. Do not strain. Do not beg. Do not hope. Simply accept. The moment you assume the feeling of already being a millionaire, life must conform to that assumption. Live in that knowing. Act from that knowing. And soon you will look around and realize you were a millionaire long before the world acknowledged it. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. The greatest secret to financial abundance is not in effort or strategy alone, but in the state of being you assume right now. Before money can flow into your life, you must first step into the consciousness of one who already possesses it. You must feel wealthy not in some distant future, but here, in this very moment. And strip away all external conditions. Forget your current bank balance, your income, your job, your debts. These are nothing more than reflections of past thoughts and beliefs. They do not define your present, nor do they dictate your future. Instead, turn inward and ask yourself, if I were already a millionaire, how would I feel? Feel the certainty that comes with financial abundance. Imagine waking up in the morning knowing that money is never a concern. There is no hesitation before making a purchase, no lingering anxiety over bills, no weight of lack pressing on your chest. There is only ease, freedom, and an unshakable confidence in the flow of wealth. This feeling is what you must claim, not as a fleeting daydream, but as a permanent state of being. The key is to embody this feeling so fully that it becomes second nature. You do not need to wait for external proof before adopting the mindset of a millionaire. Those who are truly wealthy did not wait for their bank accounts to confirm their worth. They carried themselves with the energy of abundance long before the world reflected it back to them. The physical world is nothing more than a mirror of your internal state. If you persist in feeling wealthy, the outer world has no choice but to reshape itself to match your assumption. Think about the difference between someone struggling financially and someone who moves through life with the quiet assurance of wealth. The struggling individual often carries tension in their body. Their movements are hesitant, their words reveal doubt, and their thoughts are filled with worry. On the other hand, a person who assumes the state of wealth moves differently. They stand tall, speak with certainty, and approach life with a relaxed confidence. Their energy is different. They do not grasp or beg. They expect wealth to flow because they already feel rich. Ask yourself, how would you behave if money were no longer an issue? Would you walk into a room with greater confidence? Would you make decisions with ease instead of hesitation? Would you feel a deeper sense of peace knowing that you are fully supported? Allow yourself to step into this version of you, not tomorrow, not next month, but now. The mind does not differentiate between reality and imagination. It only responds to the images and feelings you impress upon it. If you consistently dwell in the emotions of financial security, your subconscious will accept this as truth. And once your subconscious accepts something as truth, it must become your experience. This is not about pretending or forcing yourself to believe something you do not feel. It is about shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is already present in the unseen realm. Wealth is not something outside of you. It is something you align with. You do not need to struggle for it. You need only to assume the feeling of having it, and life will rearrange itself to match that assumption. One of the simplest ways to cultivate this feeling is to practice gratitude for the wealth that is already yours in unseen form. Each morning, wake up and give thanks as if you already possess everything you desire. Say to yourself, I am so grateful for the financial abundance that flows effortlessly into my life. Feel the sincerity of these words. Let them sink into your being. As you do this, you will notice a shift. Your energy will become lighter, your mind will feel clearer, and a deep sense of peace will replace any anxiety about money. Another powerful practice is to observe your thoughts throughout the day. When you catch yourself worrying about money or feeling lack, pause and shift your focus. Replace thoughts of scarcity with thoughts of abundance. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, say, Wealth is flowing to me in unexpected ways. Instead of worrying about how money will come, trust that it is already on its way. This mental discipline is what separates those who struggle from those who thrive. You must also align your actions with the consciousness of wealth. This does not mean reckless spending or pretending to be something you are not. It means moving through life with the assurance that wealth is your natural state. It means carrying yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are supported by the unseen forces of abundance. As you persist in assuming the feeling of wealth, you will begin to notice changes in your external world. Opportunities will arise, unexpected sources of income will appear, and financial doors will open in ways you never could have predicted. But the key is to feel it first. The world does not give you wealth and then allow you to feel rich. It is the other way around. You become it internally, and then life reflects it back to you. This is the great secret. Assume the feeling of wealth now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances change, now. And as you do, you will come to realize that abundance was always within you, waiting for you to claim it. The greatest shift you can make in your journey to wealth is to move from seeking to being. The moment you stop chasing and start embodying the reality of financial freedom, everything begins to change. Wealth is not something you work tirelessly toward. It is something you claim by living in the end result now. Instead of wishing, hoping, or waiting for abundance, you must step into the consciousness of one who already has it. When you dwell in the end, you no longer operate from a place of lack. You do not see yourself as someone striving for wealth, trying to make more money, or struggling to achieve financial security. Instead, you see yourself as already financially free. You carry yourself with the quiet assurance of someone who knows they are supported by unlimited abundance. You act from the reality of wealth, not toward it. Imagine that you already have everything you desire. What does that look like? More importantly, what does it feel like? Picture your ideal life, not as something distant, but as something unfolding in this very moment. See yourself waking up in a home you love with the peace that comes from knowing your financial needs are met. There is no stress, no anxiety about bills, no fear of lack. You move through your day with ease, making choices not from necessity, but from desire. This feeling of financial freedom is what you must claim now, not when you have more money, not when your circumstances improve. Now, you must walk, talk, and think as if you are already wealthy, because in doing so, you are aligning yourself with the reality where wealth is yours. Your external world can only reflect what you assume to be true internally. The mistake most people make is living in the process instead of the end. They constantly think about how they will become wealthy, what steps they need to take, what actions they should be doing. While action is necessary, it is secondary. What matters most is the state of mind you occupy. If you see yourself as someone trying to become wealthy, you are reinforcing the idea that you are not yet wealthy. And as long as you hold that belief, the physical world will continue to mirror that lack back to you. Bypass the process and dwell directly in the end. Imagine that it is already done. See your financial freedom as an undeniable reality. When you do this, something remarkable happens. Your mind begins to shift, and your actions follow suit. You no longer make choices from a place of limitation. You no longer doubt whether opportunities will come. You expect them. You no longer hope for money, you assume its presence. To dwell in the end means to remove all resistance. It means letting go of the mindset that wealth is something you need to earn or struggle for. It means stepping into the version of yourself who already has it. When you truly accept this as your reality, you will notice how your thoughts, emotions, and decisions begin to change. You will no longer engage in conversations about financial struggle. You will no longer react with fear when unexpected expenses arise. You will no longer hesitate to invest in yourself or your dreams. You will act in alignment with the wealth you already possess in consciousness. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what you consistently impress upon it. If you persist in the assumption that you already have financial abundance, your subconscious will reorganize your reality to match that belief. The people you meet, the opportunities that come your way, and even your own intuition will begin to align with this state of being. This is why it is so important to hold the vision of wealth unwaveringly. No matter what your current circumstances look like, you must remain faithful to the reality you have chosen. Do not let temporary setbacks shake your belief. Do not allow external conditions to dictate your inner state. When doubts creep in, return to the feeling of already being wealthy. Reinforce it with visualization, affirmations, and unwavering confidence in the unseen forces working on your behalf. Many people spend their lives wishing for financial freedom but never truly believing in it. They set goals, make plans, and take action, but deep down they still see themselves as struggling, and so the struggle continues. But those who live in the end, those who claim wealth as already theirs, see a different reality. They attract success effortlessly. They find themselves in the right place at the right time. They take inspired actions that lead to unexpected windfalls. This is not luck, it is law. The law that governs reality is simple. You receive what you are, not what you want. If you are still in the state of wanting, you will continue to experience the wanting. If you step into the state of having, you will experience the having. Right now, make the choice to dwell in the end. See yourself not as someone on the path to wealth, but as someone who is already there. Feel the certainty, the confidence, the freedom that comes with knowing abundance is yours. The moment you do, life must respond in kind. Everything you see in your outer world is a reflection of the beliefs, emotions, and assumptions you hold within. The secret to wealth is not in tireless effort or endless struggle, but in the deep conviction that you are already abundant. Your subconscious mind does not operate on logic, nor does it question whether something is possible or impossible. It simply accepts and manifests whatever is impressed upon it with feeling and repetition. This is why you must first cultivate the feeling of wealth internally before you ever see it materialize in your external world. Most people believe that action alone creates wealth. They chase money, opportunities, and success with a desperate energy, thinking that if they just work hard enough, they will finally attain financial freedom. But this approach often leads to frustration, exhaustion, and disappointment. Why? Because they are trying to change the effect without first addressing the cause. The cause of all wealth, all success, and all prosperity is not found in the external world. It is rooted in the inner world of thought and belief. Consider the way a seed grows into a tree. You cannot force the tree to grow by pulling on its branches or demanding that it bear fruit before its time. Instead, you must plant the seed, nurture it, and trust that beneath the surface something is happening. The same principle applies to wealth. If you plant the seed of financial abundance in your subconscious mind, by assuming and feeling that you are already rich, then in due time your outer world must reflect that reality. But most people plant seeds of lack. They worry about money, fear not having enough, and constantly reinforce the idea that wealth is something out of reach. They say things like, "I can't afford this," "Money is hard to make," "I'll never be rich," and "I don't know how to get ahead." These statements may seem harmless, but they are powerful declarations to the subconscious mind. Every time such thoughts are entertained, they reinforce a state of financial struggle. The subconscious, being entirely obedient, ensures that their reality continues to reflect those beliefs. Consider what happens when you reverse this process. Instead of focusing on lack, you shift your attention to abundance. You begin to tell yourself a new story, one where money flows easily, where you always have more than enough, and where opportunities for financial growth present themselves effortlessly. You dwell in the feeling of already being wealthy. You walk, speak, and think like someone who knows they are financially free. This is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about aligning your internal state with the wealth you seek. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only responds to the dominant impressions you give it. If you repeatedly impress upon it the idea that you are already rich, it will rearrange your reality to make that belief true. The right circumstances, people, and opportunities will be drawn to you in ways you never could have planned. Inspired ideas will arise, guiding you to actions that lead to financial success. This is the effortless path to wealth, not one of force, but of alignment. It is important to understand that money itself is neutral. It does not have an inherent nature of being scarce or abundant. It simply responds to the energy and beliefs you hold about it. If you see money as difficult to obtain, it will be difficult. If you see it as something that flows naturally and abundantly, it will. Your internal world defines your financial experience. The key to transforming your reality is to stop focusing on how wealth will come and instead trust that it must come. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not constantly dig it up to see if it is growing. You trust the process. In the same way, when you impress wealth upon your subconscious, you must let go of doubt and allow it to unfold in its perfect time. The moment you fully accept and believe in your wealth, you shift into the state of having, and your outer world begins to conform to this new inner reality. It is also essential to guard your thoughts and words. Never speak of lack, never affirm struggle, and never entertain the idea that wealth is out of reach. Instead, saturate your mind with thoughts of prosperity. Visualize yourself in complete financial freedom. Feel the security, the confidence, and the ease of knowing that your needs are always met. Make this feeling your dwelling place. Your financial transformation does not begin with more work, better opportunities, or lucky breaks. It begins within you. If you hold fast to the belief that you are already rich, without contradiction or doubt, then wealth will become your reality. The outer world has no choice but to reflect what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind. Make the decision to feel rich. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances improve, but now. Step into that feeling fully and completely. As you do, life will shift in ways that seem almost magical, but it is not magic, it is law. And once you understand this law, you will never struggle for wealth again. The greatest barrier between you and the wealth you desire is not the lack of opportunity, intelligence, or resources. It is the attachment to how and when it will come. Most people, in their pursuit of financial success, become obsessed with the details. They try to control every aspect of the process, calculating every possible path, fearing missed opportunities, and constantly questioning whether they are on the right track. This mindset, rather than bringing wealth closer, actually pushes it away. The more you concern yourself with how money will come, the more you reinforce the belief that you do not yet have it. The more you stress about when it will arrive, the more you affirm its absence. You must detach from how and when and shift into a state of absolute certainty that it is already yours. This is not wishful thinking. It is not pretending. It is a deep, unwavering inner knowing that the wealth you seek is already present in your life, even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes. When you adopt this mindset, you remove the obstacles that have been blocking it from manifesting. The mind that dwells in lack is restless. It constantly seeks solutions, worries about what is missing, and analyzes every step. But a mind that knows wealth is already secured is at peace. It does not chase, it does not struggle, and it does not doubt. Instead, it allows. And this allowing is the secret to effortless creation. Think of the air you breathe. You do not question whether there will be enough oxygen tomorrow. You do not wake up in the middle of the night in panic, wondering how air will continue to flow into your lungs. You simply trust that it is there. In the same way, money should be seen as something that is always available, always flowing, and never lacking. The moment you shift into this perspective, your reality will begin to reflect it. Letting go of how does not mean you stop taking action. It means that your actions are no longer driven by fear and desperation, but by inspiration and ease. When you believe that you already have what you seek, you are no longer forcing outcomes. You are aligning with them. The right ideas, people, and circumstances naturally find you because you are operating from a state of abundance rather than scarcity. Many people, when trying to attract wealth, unknowingly work against themselves by checking for results too soon. They plant the seed of wealth in their minds but constantly dig it up to see if it is growing. This impatience disrupts the process. Imagine a farmer who plants a crop but refuses to trust the natural cycle of growth. If he doubts the soil, uproots the seed every few days, and worries whether the harvest will come, he is only delaying his own abundance. The same is true for wealth. Once you have impressed the feeling of financial security upon your subconscious, you must let go and trust that it is unfolding perfectly. Time itself is an illusion. The belief that wealth must take years to accumulate or that success must come through a slow, difficult process is only a limitation imposed by the mind. In reality, wealth does not operate on a fixed timeline. It responds to your state of being. If you believe that abundance takes a long time, it will. The key is to detach from the concept of when and instead rest in the conviction that it is already done. To truly embody this, you must release all struggle, all anxiety, and all doubt. Every moment spent worrying about money is a moment spent affirming its absence. Every moment spent questioning how it will come is a moment spent reinforcing the idea that it is not yet here. Instead, shift into the certainty that you are already financially free. Feel it now. Walk as though it is true. Speak as though it is true. Think and act as the wealthy person you already are. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you trust so deeply that you no longer need to force or control anything. You surrender to the natural flow of abundance, knowing that what is yours can never be withheld from you. When you reach this state, wealth manifests effortlessly, in ways you never could have planned. Unexpected opportunities arise. Money flows from sources you never anticipated. Everything aligns because you are no longer resisting. In this moment, let go of every question, every worry, and every doubt. Let go of the need to figure it all out. Instead, rest in the certainty that it is already done. Wealth is not something you are chasing. It is something you are allowing. And as soon as you fully embrace that truth, it will appear in your life as naturally as the breath in your lungs. If you desire to be a millionaire, you must first learn to think and speak as one. Your words and thoughts are not just fleeting expressions, they are the seeds from which your reality grows. Every thought you allow, every word you speak either affirms abundance or reinforces lack. There is no neutrality. The way you describe your life, the way you think about money, and the way you react to financial situations all determine the reality you experience. Most people unknowingly keep themselves trapped in financial struggle by constantly affirming their limitations. They say, "I can't afford this. Money is hard to come by. I don't know how I'll ever get rich." And in doing so, they instruct their subconscious mind to keep them in that very condition. They reinforce the idea that wealth is distant, difficult, or reserved for others. But those who truly embody wealth think and speak differently. They do not affirm lack, they affirm abundance. They do not focus on what is missing, they focus on what is already present. To shift into this mindset, you must begin eliminating all language of scarcity. Remove words like broke, struggling, impossible, or out of reach from your vocabulary. Stop saying things like, "I never have enough money," or "I'll never be able to afford that." These statements are not harmless. They are declarations to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious is always listening. Whatever you consistently affirm, it will accept as truth and manifest accordingly. Train yourself to speak from the perspective of wealth. Say, "Money flows to me effortlessly. I always have more than enough. Opportunities are abundant, and I am financially free." Even if your physical reality does not yet reflect this, your words are planting the seeds for the future. Wealth is first created in the mind before it materializes in the world. When you consistently affirm abundance, your subconscious mind begins to believe it. And when it believes it, it must bring it into your experience. Thinking as a millionaire goes beyond just words. It extends to your entire mental outlook. A wealthy person does not dwell on financial fear or worry. They do not obsess over lack. Instead, they trust in the natural flow of money. They see money as a tool, not as something to be feared or worshipped. They focus on prosperity, growth, and opportunity. They operate from a mindset of confidence rather than scarcity. Many people mistakenly believe that they must wait for financial success before they can feel abundant, but the truth is the opposite. You must first feel wealthy before wealth will come. Imagine how a millionaire thinks about money. Do they panic over small expenses? Do they stress over bills? Do they doubt their ability to generate income? No. They move through life with a sense of certainty, knowing that wealth is always available to them. They trust in their financial security. If you adopt this same mindset now, you will naturally align yourself with the experience of wealth. Your actions must also reflect this consciousness. Walk with confidence, as if you already possess great wealth. Sit, stand, and move as someone who is financially free. The way you carry yourself is a direct expression of your inner state. If you walk with hesitation, slouching under the weight of financial stress, you are embodying lack. But when you move with assurance, standing tall as if abundance is your natural state, you signal to your subconscious that wealth is already yours. Even your relationship with spending must change. Many people approach money from a place of fear, holding onto it tightly, afraid that there will never be enough. But a millionaire understands that money is a tool meant to flow. They do not hoard it out of fear. They circulate it wisely, knowing that there is always more where it came from. When you spend money, do so with gratitude, not anxiety. Bless every dollar that leaves your hands, knowing it will return multiplied. It is also crucial to surround yourself with the energy of abundance. This does not mean reckless spending or living beyond your means. It means immersing yourself in the feeling of wealth in every way possible. Visit beautiful places, try on luxury clothing, walk through high-end neighborhoods, not because you are pretending, but because you are aligning with the frequency of financial success. Your subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. So if you continuously expose yourself to an environment of abundance, your mind will accept it as your reality. Eliminate negative influences that reinforce a scarcity mindset. Avoid conversations that focus on struggle and lack. Distance yourself from those who constantly complain about money, who believe wealth is reserved for the lucky few. Surround yourself with those who think expansively, who see opportunity everywhere, who operate with confidence in their financial destiny. Energy is contagious, and when you are constantly immersed in an environment of abundance, it becomes your new normal. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. And you become it through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Speak and think only as a millionaire would, and soon your outer reality will be forced to conform. It is not magic, it is law. The consciousness of abundance must always precede the experience of it. Think it, speak it, embody it, and the world will reflect it back to you. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the doors of abundance. It is not merely an emotion. It is a powerful vibrational force that aligns you with the reality you wish to experience. The secret to manifesting wealth is not to wait until it arrives before you feel grateful, but to express deep appreciation now, as if it were already yours. The moment you begin to live in this state of gratitude, you shift your energy from lack to abundance, and the universe must respond in kind. Most people live in a cycle of wanting, waiting, and worrying. They believe that once they achieve financial success, then they will be grateful. But this is an illusion. Gratitude is not a reaction to wealth, it is the cause of it. When you cultivate gratitude in the present moment, regardless of what your external reality looks like, You declare to the universe that you already have all you need. And when you affirm that you already have, more will be given to you. Imagine for a moment that you are already a millionaire. How would you feel waking up every morning, knowing that financial freedom is yours? How would you move through the day, knowing that money flows effortlessly into your life? You would feel a deep sense of ease, security, and appreciation. You would not worry about bills, expenses, or unexpected financial challenges because you would trust that everything is always working in your favor. Bring that feeling into the present. Do not wait for the physical evidence of wealth to appear before you allow yourself to feel grateful. Instead, cultivate that same deep appreciation. Now, look at what you already have, no matter how small, and acknowledge it with gratitude. Appreciate the money you do have, the opportunities before you, the roof over your head, the food you eat, the resources available to you. When you begin to see your current blessings as abundant, you send a clear message to the universe. I am already wealthy. And because like attracts like, wealth must flow to you. Gratitude is a magnet. Whatever you are grateful for, you attract more of. If you constantly complain about your financial situation, if you focus on what you lack, if you feel frustrated by what you do not yet have, you are reinforcing that very state. The universe responds to your dominant emotional state, not just your words. You may say that you want wealth, but if your emotions are rooted in frustration and lack, that is what will continue to manifest. Shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what is missing, celebrate what is present. Each time you receive money, no matter how small, give thanks. When you spend money, instead of feeling anxious or resistant, feel grateful that you have the ability to pay for what you need. When you see someone else enjoying wealth, instead of feeling envious, celebrate their abundance as proof that prosperity is possible. The more you practice gratitude, the more you will notice your financial reality shifting. Unexpected opportunities will arise. Money will come from sources you never anticipated. Solutions to financial challenges will present themselves effortlessly. This is not coincidence. It is the natural result of aligning yourself with the frequency of abundance. A powerful way to deepen your gratitude practice is through visualization. Each day, close your eyes and imagine yourself already living your ideal financial life. See yourself in a beautiful home, driving the car of your dreams, traveling freely, giving generously. As you visualize, do not just see the images, feel them. Feel the excitement, the security, the deep appreciation of a life where money is no longer a concern. The more vividly you can feel gratitude for this reality now, the faster it will materialize. Writing down your gratitude can also be transformative. Keep a journal and each day list the things you are thankful for, both what you already have and what you are calling into existence. Write statements like, I am so grateful for the unlimited abundance flowing into my life. I appreciate the wealth I already possess and the financial freedom that is unfolding effortlessly. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and I am thankful for every blessing. By consistently affirming gratitude, you reprogram your subconscious mind to accept abundance as your natural state. Over time, this new belief will override any past conditioning of scarcity, and your external world will adjust accordingly. It is also important to express gratitude not just for money, but for all forms of abundance. Good health, supportive relationships, creative ideas, and joyful experiences. The more you recognize abundance in all areas of your life, the more you train yourself to see wealth everywhere. And as your perception shifts, so does your reality. Gratitude is not just about attracting wealth. It is about becoming a person who naturally embodies abundance. It transforms your entire being, making wealth not something you chase, but something you radiate. When you live in a state of deep appreciation, you become magnetic to all that you desire. Money, opportunities, success, all of it flows effortlessly into the life of one who is truly grateful. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you embody. The key to becoming a millionaire is not found in struggle or desperation, but in the deep, unwavering belief that you already are one. When you assume the feeling of wealth now, when you dwell in the certainty that it is already yours, and when you trust that your inner world shapes your outer reality, you unlock the doors to unlimited abundance. Let go of doubt. Detach from the need to control the how and when. Speak, think, and act only as a wealthy person would. Express gratitude not as a reaction to wealth, but as a declaration that it is already present. When you align your mind with abundance, the universe has no choice but to mirror that reality back to you. The life of financial freedom you seek is not distant, it is here, right now, waiting for you to claim it. Shift your awareness, walk in confidence, and allow wealth to flow to you effortlessly. Thank you, and may you step boldly into the wealth that is already yours. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the air around you. Feel yourself in this very moment, breathing, existing. Now understand this. You are not separate from your desires. They already exist within you. They are waiting, not for time, not for effort, but for your alignment. The secret to manifesting anything fast is not to chase, not to beg, not to force. It is to become. If you desire abundance, you do not plead for it, you assume the energy of someone who is already abundant. If you seek love, you do not crave it, you embody the feeling of being deeply loved. Reality does not respond to desperate wanting, it responds to certainty, to knowing, to embodiment. So I ask you right now, what is your vibration? Are you living in the frequency of already having, or are you vibrating at the frequency of lack? Your vibration does not lie. It is the energetic signature you send to the universe, and it always returns to you in kind. Most people try too hard, straining, affirming, hoping, waiting. But manifestation is not about effort. It is about alignment. When you relax into the feeling of already having, you enter the state of fulfillment. And what is fulfilled in the unseen must be expressed in the seen. Time is an illusion. The moment you fully believe, without hesitation, without contradiction, it is already yours. Your only task is to remain in that knowing. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the doubt. Imagine standing before a mirror, gazing at your reflection. You do not beg the mirror to change. You do not reach out and try to adjust the image with your hands. You simply understand that if you desire a different reflection, you must shift yourself first. This is how reality works. The world around you is a perfect reflection of your inner state, your vibration, your assumptions. What you hold within, whether consciously or unconscious, is precisely what you will see materialized in your external world. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not passive occurrences. They are creative forces, shaping your reality in every moment. When you dwell in a state of lack, fear, or desperation, you do not attract the solutions you seek. You attract more of the same energy you are emitting. If you wake up feeling anxious and uncertain, believing that life is against you, that no opportunity is available, the world will confirm those assumptions. You will notice obstacles instead of openings. You will find rejection where there could have been reception. It is not because life is cruel, but because life is reflecting what you are holding within. Consider the opposite. What happens when you begin to shift your state, when you cultivate the feeling of abundance, love, and certainty within yourself? Even before your external world changes, something miraculous happens. You feel different. You walk with a different energy. You engage with people in a new way. You interpret events through a different lens. And soon, the mirror of reality must catch up. It must reflect back the new state you have assumed. People often misunderstand this principle because they think their circumstances must shift first before they can feel differently. They wait for money to arrive before they feel wealthy. They wait for love to appear before they feel cherished. They wait for success before they feel accomplished. But this is not how manifestation works. The universe does not operate on external validation. It operates on vibrational alignment. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you are. When you choose to step into the feeling of already having, already being, already living your desire, you send a powerful signal to the universe. You are no longer in a state of wanting, which implies absence. You are in a state of already having, which implies fulfillment. And what is fulfilled internally must express itself externally. The law is absolute. This is why the most effortless manifestations happen when people forget they were even trying. They relax into the state of certainty. They no longer need to grasp or control, because they know it is done. The world cannot help but conform to their inner reality. But when one remains attached to doubt, worry, or impatience, they unknowingly push their desires further away. They may visualize, affirm, or script, but if their dominant state remains rooted in lack, their efforts cannot bear fruit. You must train yourself to feel the reality you desire before it appears. This does not mean pretending or forcing an emotion. It means aligning with the truth that everything you seek is already available to you. It exists in potential, waiting for you to tune into the frequency where it must become tangible. Your state of being is the key to manifestation because it is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. The moment you choose to elevate your inner world, your external world begins its transformation. Opportunities arise, people respond differently, circumstances shift in your favor, and the more unwavering you are in your chosen state, the faster your reality must bend to match it. So ask yourself, what am I embodying right now? Because that, more than any action, strategy, or effort, is what determines what you will receive. For a moment and picture the life you desire. See it clearly, the place where you live, the people around you, the things you own, the experiences you cherish. Feel the joy, the excitement, the deep sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing this life is yours. Now understand this. If you can hold this vision with absolute certainty, if you can feel it as though it is happening now, reality must bend to make it so. Imagination is not a passive daydream or an escape from reality. It is the very force that shapes reality itself. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every achievement began as an idea in someone's mind before it took form in the physical world. The unseen always precedes the seen. The internal world must shift before the external world can reflect it. This is the immutable law of creation. Most people live reactively. They observe their current circumstances and assume that reality is fixed, that what they see around them is all there is. But the truth is, reality is fluid, always responding to the images and emotions we impress upon it. What you consistently hold in your imagination with feeling and belief is what materializes. If you imagine yourself as abundant, joyful, and successful, the world must shift to align with that assumption. But if you imagine yourself as struggling, unworthy, or stuck, the world will continue to reflect that back to you. Imagination is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you see something vividly in your mind and infuse it with emotion, you activate unseen forces that begin to work on your behalf. The right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will be drawn to you, not by chance, but by the law that governs all creation. Your role is not to figure out how it will happen, but to dwell in the certainty that it is happening. Doubt is the greatest enemy of creation. The moment you question whether your vision is possible, you introduce resistance. Many people use their imagination against themselves. They visualize failure, rejection, and disappointment, and then wonder why their lives reflect those very things. But the same power that can create struggle can create abundance. It is simply a matter of directing your imagination with intention. Think of a time when you were completely absorbed in a daydream. For that moment, it felt real. Your heart responded as though you were living it. Your body reacted as if it were truly happening. That is the level of conviction required to manifest your desires. When your imagination becomes more real to you than your present circumstances, the present must give way to the imagined. The world has no choice but to rearrange itself to fit the new reality you have embodied. There is no limit to what you can create. The only limitations are the ones you accept. If you can see it in your mind, if you can feel it deeply, then it already exists in the unseen. Time is not a factor. The universe does not recognize waiting. It only recognizes states of being. The moment you fully embody the state of having, you collapse the distance between your vision and its physical expression. Creation is effortless when you understand this principle. You no longer struggle, chase, or beg. You assume, you know, you trust. And in that trust, the universe delivers. Everything begins with imagination. What you dare to see in your mind, and more importantly, what you dare to feel as real, is what will inevitably become your experience. There is a secret to effortless manifestation, and it is one that many overlook: detachment from time. The more you obsess over when something will happen, the more you push it away. The more you try to control how it unfolds, the more resistance you create. The very act of worrying about time signals to the universe that you do not truly believe in the inevitability of your desire. But when you release that need, when you let go of the urgency and surrender to the knowing that it is already done, things begin to happen swiftly, almost miraculously. Time, as we perceive it, is an illusion. It is not linear in the way we have been taught to believe. The moment you imagine something and feel it is real, it exists. It is not something in a distant future waiting to be attained. It is already yours in the unseen. The only reason it appears to take time is because the mind is still caught in the habit of measuring and waiting. But the moment you detach from the need to see immediate results, you shift into a state of allowance. You create space for your desire to unfold naturally, without interference. Think of planting a seed. If you dig it up every day to check if it is growing, you disrupt the process. You introduce doubt. You do not trust that nature is working on your behalf. But when you plant it with full faith, water it and leave it to grow, the result is inevitable. It is the same with manifestation. The constant checking, the impatience, the questioning, all of these signal to the universe that you are unsure, that you do not yet believe in the certainty of your creation. And so reality reflects that doubt back to you in the form of delays, obstacles, and unfulfilled desires. Detachment does not mean apathy. It does not mean you stop caring about your desire. It means you are so certain of its fulfillment that you no longer feel the need to chase it. You no longer operate from a state of waiting. You live as if it is already yours. And in doing so, you free yourself from the energetic resistance that slows things down. Most people remain trapped in time because they keep reinforcing the absence of their desire. They wake up every morning wondering why it has not happened yet. They check their circumstances for evidence, but this only strengthens the reality they do not want. The key is to stop looking to the external world for confirmation. Instead, go inward. Feel the reality of your desire so deeply that it becomes more real to you than what your senses perceive. When you no longer need proof from the outside world must catch up and reflect your inner certainty. Think about the things in life that have come to you effortlessly, the friendships, the opportunities, the moments of pure joy. They did not come from grasping or forcing. They came because you were in a state of flow. You were not fixated on when or how. You were simply being. This is the state that accelerates manifestation. To truly detach from time, embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire. How does that version of you think, feel, and act? Do they stress over when it will happen? Or do they move through life with confidence, knowing it is already theirs? Step into that state now. Live in the energy of fulfillment. The sooner you align with the feeling of already having, the sooner the universe will bring it into form. There is no need to rush, no need to doubt. The very moment you stop worrying about time, you step into the timeless realm where all things are already complete. And from that space, reality has no choice but to deliver. And breathe deeply. Let go of all tension, all striving, all thoughts of needing to make something happen. Simply be here now. Feel the stillness. Feel the ease. This is where true alignment begins, not in effort, not in struggle, but in surrender to the feeling of already having what you desire. Vibration is not something you force. It is something you allow. Many people believe they must push, strain, or work tirelessly to raise their vibration, as if it is an uphill battle. But the truth is, your natural state is one of abundance, joy, and peace. The only reason it feels difficult to align with your desires is because of the resistance created by doubt, fear, and over-effort. The more you try to force a state of being, the further you push it away. Imagine trying to grasp water with a clenched fist. The tighter you hold, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you simply open your hand, the water rests there effortlessly. This is the nature of vibration. When you try too hard to be in alignment, you create resistance. But when you relax into the knowing that what you desire is already yours, your vibration naturally rises to match it. Think about a time when you felt truly at peace. Perhaps when you were lost in music, enjoying the beauty of nature, or deeply absorbed in a moment of love and laughter. In those moments, you were not trying to be in a high vibration. You simply were. You were immersed in the feeling, and that feeling was effortless. This is the state in which manifestation happens quickly and naturally. Many people approach manifestation with a sense of urgency. They believe they must constantly affirm, visualize, or take massive action to get into alignment. But alignment is not something you do, it is something you allow. It is the absence of resistance. It is the natural state of being that arises when you trust, when you feel safe in the knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. This is why relaxation is so powerful. When you relax, you drop the tension that keeps you separate from what you want. You stop looking at the world as a problem to be solved and start seeing it as a reflection of your inner state. You let go of the how and when, because deep down you trust that the universe is already working on your behalf. Consider the energy of someone who is desperate for love. They seek it, chase it, and constantly question why it has not arrived. But this desperation creates a vibration of lack, and so they continue to experience more absence of love. Now think of someone who knows they are loved, who moves through life with confidence, joy, and self-assurance. They do not chase love, it comes to them effortlessly, because they are already in the vibration of having it. This applies to everything: money, success, health, happiness. When you force, you create resistance. When you allow, you align. The key is to step into the feeling of already having what you desire. Not in the future, not someday, but right now. How would you feel if your dream life were already yours? How would you breathe? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would you think? Step into that now. Let the feeling wash over you. Not because you are trying to force it, but because you are allowing yourself to be it. The universe does not respond to effort, it responds to energy. When you relax into the vibration of already having, your reality must shift to match that state. The more you surrender to the feeling, the faster your desires manifest. Stop trying so hard, simply be. The moment you let go is the moment everything begins to flow. For a moment and imagine your desire fulfilled, not as something distant, not as something you are waiting for, but as something that is already yours. Feel it as real. Notice the emotions that arise within you: peace, joy, certainty. Hold on to that feeling, not as something to be grasped, but as something natural, effortless. This is the secret to manifestation. You do not chase what is already yours. You assume the feeling, and then you let go. Most people make the mistake of believing they must chase their desires. They believe they must work tirelessly, constantly visualize, or take endless actions to force reality to conform to their will. But the very act of chasing implies separation. It says, I do not have it yet. And so reality continues to reflect that lack. The more you strive, the more you confirm to yourself that your desire is something outside of you, something you have yet to attain. But what happens when you assume the feeling of already having it? You shift your state. You are no longer a seeker, you are a receiver. You are no longer longing, you are living from the fulfillment of your desire. And in doing so, you allow reality to rearrange itself to match your internal world. Think about the moments in your life when things flowed effortlessly. Perhaps an opportunity appeared just when you needed it, or a person entered your life seemingly by chance. These moments did not come from desperation or struggle. They came when you were in a state of openness, trust, and natural alignment. You were not chasing, you were allowing. This is the energy that brings rapid manifestation. Many people ask, how do I assume the feeling of already having it when my senses tell me otherwise? The answer is simple. Stop looking to the outside world for confirmation. The world is only a mirror, reflecting back to you the state you persist in. If you continue to look for proof before you believe, you will remain in a cycle of waiting. Instead, make the inner world more real than the outer world. This is not about pretending. It is not about fooling yourself. It is about embodying a new state of being so deeply that the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. If you desire wealth, how does a wealthy person think, feel, and move through the world? They do not worry about lack. They do not question whether money will come. They live in the ease and confidence of knowing abundance is always available to them. Apply this to your own desires. If you were already in the loving relationship you seek, how would you feel? If you had the success you long for, how would you carry yourself? If you were living your dream life, what energy would you embody? Assume that now. Step into it. Feel it deeply. Let go of the need to control when and how it happens. Let go of the desperation for signs. Let go of the habit of checking your circumstances for evidence. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You trust that nature is taking care of it. Do the same with your desires. Assume the feeling, persist in the state, and then release all attachment. This is where true power lies, not in struggle, not in forcing, but in the quiet confidence of knowing it is already done. When you stop chasing, you shift from lack to fulfillment. You move from effort to ease. And when you do, reality must conform to the new energy you embody. You do not chase what is already yours, you become it. And when you do, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the force that brings the formless into form. When you possess unwavering faith, when you know it is done without needing proof, you open the floodgates for effortless manifestation. Faith is not just a belief. It is a deep inner knowing, a conviction so strong that no external circumstance can shake it. Most people live by sight. They look around at their current reality and base their beliefs on what they see. If they do not yet see evidence of their desire, they assume it is not happening. They question, they doubt, they waver, and in doing so, they delay the very thing they seek. They do not realize that the world is simply a reflection of their internal state. When you wait for proof before believing, you are caught in an endless cycle of lack. Because your outer world can only reflect what you persistently assume to be true. Faith moves differently. Faith does not ask for signs. Faith does not seek validation. Faith simply knows. When you truly have faith, you no longer worry about how or when your desire will manifest, because you understand that it already exists in the unseen and is only awaiting its appointed time to appear. Just as a seed planted in the earth does not require your constant supervision to grow, your manifestations do not require your constant questioning or concern. Think of the things in your life that have come effortlessly. things that seemed to appear as if by magic. You were not stressing over them, you were not obsessing over when they would come. In many cases, you may have even forgotten about them entirely, only to have them show up at the perfect moment. This is the power of faith in action. When you release doubt and trust completely, the universe works in ways you cannot see to bring your desires to fruition. The mistake many people make is allowing doubt to creep in. They set an intention, but then they question it. They ask, why hasn't it happened yet? What if it never happens? Maybe this isn't meant for me. Each doubt weakens their faith, and in doing so, they send mixed signals to the universe. They step into faith momentarily, only to step out of it as soon as their senses do not confirm their desire. This back and forth keeps them stuck, delaying the manifestation they so deeply want. Faith requires persistence. It requires standing firm in your knowing, even when everything around you seems unchanged. It requires understanding that the delay is not denial, that just because you do not see it yet does not mean it is not already on its way. Consider the energy of someone who has already received their desire. They are not desperate. They are not constantly looking for proof. They are at peace, moving through life with confidence, knowing they have what they asked for. This is the energy you must adopt, not one of hoping, not one of wishing, but one of knowing. When you pray for rain, carry an umbrella. When you declare your manifestation, prepare for its arrival. Act as though it is already done, because in truth, it is. The moment you desire something and fully believe in it without resistance, it is already yours in the unseen. The only thing that determines when it appears in the physical world is the degree to which you sustain that faith without wavering. The greatest power you can possess is the ability to trust beyond what your senses tell you. To know, without a shadow of a doubt, that your vision is real before it is visible. To walk by faith, not by sight. Because when you do, reality has no choice but to conform. Faith is the ultimate power. When you master it, you master life itself. Everything you desire is already within you. Your state of being determines what you attract, your imagination shapes reality, and your ability to detach from time allows things to manifest effortlessly. Vibration is not something you force, it is something you feel naturally. The moment you assume the feeling of already having what you want and release all doubt, reality must conform. There exists a power within you so vast, so limitless, that the moment you align with it, reality bends to your will. Not through struggle, not through force, but through the effortless art of assumption. Most people beg for what is already theirs. They plead, they wish, they hope, never realizing that the very act of longing affirms its absence. But the one who knows the truth speaks with certainty, and the world obeys. Today you will speak as the one who already has. You will declare what is yours, not as a request, but as a fact. Say these 4 lines with conviction, and watch as the unseen moves to make them real. It is done. You are not waiting, you are not asking, you are confirming. That which you desire is already a living reality in the unseen. I am one with my desire. There is no separation between you and what you want. It is not outside of you. You and your desire are already united. Everything is unfolding perfectly. There is no need to doubt or control the how. The unseen forces are aligning everything in your favor. I rest in the knowing that it is mine. No more chasing, no more worrying. You let go and trust, for what is truly yours can never be lost. When you speak these words, speak them as truth, not as a hope, not as a wish, but as a knowing. The moment you do, reality must conform. Your imagination is the foundation of your reality. Every experience, every event, and every encounter in your life is a direct reflection of the images and assumptions you consistently hold within your mind. What you perceive as the external world is not separate from you, but rather an outpicturing of the state of consciousness you dwell in. Change your inner world, and your outer world must follow. The unseen power of imagination governs everything, yet most people are unaware of its influence. They believe life happens to them, that circumstances are random, and that their struggles are the result of forces beyond their control. But this is the great illusion. The truth is, life is responding to your dominant thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. What you persistently entertain in your mind must eventually be expressed in the world around you. If you live in a state of fear, expecting the worst, life will mirror that expectation. If you assume yourself to be unlucky, unworthy, or incapable, the world will reflect those beliefs back to you, confirming them over and over. But just as easily, if you assume success, abundance, and joy, your world will reshape itself to make those assumptions real. The key is understanding that imagination is not something that merely exists in fleeting daydreams. It is the creative force behind all things. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the relationships you have, everything first existed in someone's imagination before becoming physical. Nothing comes into existence without first being imagined. The same applies to your life. You must dare to assume the reality of what you desire before it appears. You must live in the feeling of it already being yours, for the world will always conform to the state of mind you occupy. Most people sabotage themselves by allowing their imagination to be dictated by their senses. They look at their current circumstances and assume that this is all there is. They allow the evidence of the present moment to determine what they believe is possible. But the one who understands the power of imagination does not fall into this trap. They refuse to be limited by what they see and instead persist in the unseen reality they have constructed in their mind. What you believe to be true, you will prove to be true. This is why people remain trapped in cycles of lack, struggle, and disappointment. They assume failure, they assume rejection, they assume difficulty, and life faithfully provides them with more of the same. The mind is like fertile soil, and whatever seeds you plant, whether good or bad, will grow. You must choose to plant only those ideas that align with the life you wish to experience. The moment you claim something in your imagination, it begins to take form. It may not appear immediately, but that does not mean it is not already unfolding. Many give up too soon, dismissing the unseen as unreal, when in truth, all creation happens first in the invisible realm before materializing. The wise do not look for immediate confirmation from the outside world. They rest in the knowing that what they have assumed will inevitably harden into fact. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to the reality you have chosen within. No matter what your senses tell you, no matter what others say, you must persist. If you can see yourself living the life you desire, if you can feel it to be real, then it must become real. This is an unbreakable law. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Dare to imagine boldly. Do not limit yourself based on what has been or what seems possible. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. Assume the highest, believe in the unseen, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. The only moment that holds power is now. Manifestation is not something that happens in the distant future. It is always unfolding in the present. Most people live in a state of waiting, believing that their desires will come true someday. But that day never arrives because they have placed their manifestation in a future that never exists. The future is only an extension of the now. If you do not assume it is already yours in this moment, you will continue to push it further away. Everything you seek is already here. It is not something outside of you that needs to be chased or acquired. The very act of wanting implies that you do not yet have it, and as long as you hold on to that feeling of separation, you reinforce its absence. The only way to bring what you desire into your experience is to claim it in the now, not as a hope, not as a wish, but as an undeniable fact. Speak it, feel it, and accept it as reality. When you do, the world must conform. Most people make the mistake of waiting for external confirmation before they believe. They want to see their desires materialize first, and only then will they feel secure in their assumption. But this is the opposite of how manifestation works. The external world is a reflection of the internal world, not the other way around. If you wait for circumstances to change before you change your mindset, you will wait forever. Instead, you must assume it is already done, and the world will rearrange itself to reflect that assumption. The present moment is not just where you are, it is where your power resides. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every word you speak is shaping your reality right now. You are never manifesting in the future. You are always manifesting in the present. The question is, what are you claiming in this moment? Are you affirming lack, doubt, and delay, or are you declaring that your desire is already yours? To shift your reality, you must step into the version of yourself that already has what you seek. Speak, think, and act as that person now. Do not wait for the evidence to appear. Become it first. If you desire wealth, assume the feeling of financial freedom now. If you desire love, embody the energy of someone who is deeply cherished now. If you desire success, move through life as if you have already achieved it. This is not pretending. It is aligning with the truth that already exists in the unseen. There is no power in waiting. The more you delay, the more you reinforce that your desire is separate from you. The moment you say it is mine and truly believe it, the universe begins to move. It is not your job to figure out how it will happen. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to the assumption that it is done. The means will reveal themselves. The right opportunities will arise, and the world will bend to your belief. Many people sabotage their manifestations by allowing doubt to creep in. They declare that their desire is already theirs, but then they check their current reality for signs, questioning if it is really working. The moment they entertain doubt, they undo the work they have done. You must stand firm, even when there is no physical evidence, even when circumstances appear unchanged. You must persist in the knowing that it is already done. Time is an illusion. There is no waiting when you understand that creation happens in the now. The instant you shift your state of being, reality must adjust to match it. You do not need to force or chase anything. Simply assume, feel, and trust. When you live in the state of fulfillment now, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. The universe does not respond to empty words or hollow affirmations. It responds to feeling. Feeling is the key that unlocks the door to manifestation, the invisible force that transforms thoughts into tangible reality. Words alone hold no power unless they are infused with belief and emotion. You may repeat affirmations endlessly, but if they lack conviction, they will produce no results. It is not the words themselves that shape reality, but the feeling behind them. Every thought you entertain carries a vibration, and that vibration is determined by the emotion it stirs within you. If you say, "I am wealthy," but internally feel lack, the universe does not hear your words. It hears your feeling of scarcity. It responds not to what you say, but to what you truly believe to be real. This is why so many struggle with manifestation. They speak of abundance while feeling poor. They affirm love while feeling sick. The dominant feeling always wins. Doubt is the greatest enemy of manifestation. It is the subtle feeling that contradicts your desire and prevents it from materializing. You may affirm that you are abundant, but if beneath your words lies a feeling of uncertainty, that doubt will override your affirmation. This is why blind repetition of affirmations is useless unless you internalize them as truth. Instead of merely saying the words, you must feel the reality they represent. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to experience the emotion of your desire already fulfilled. Let it move through you as if it were happening now. The imagination is a powerful tool for generating feeling. When you visualize yourself living in the reality you seek, immerse yourself in the experience. Do not observe it as something distant or separate from you. Step into it. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, see the details vividly. If you desire wealth, imagine yourself handling large sums of money, feeling the weight of it in your hands, experiencing the ease and confidence it brings. If you desire love, feel the warmth of companionship, the security of knowing you are deeply cherished. These feelings are the bridge between the unseen and the seen. What you persistently feel must harden into fact. There is no other possibility. Reality is not shaped by effort or struggle. It is shaped by the state of being you occupy. When you fully accept the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the world must conform to match it. This is not wishful thinking or mere positive thinking. It is an unshakable law. Do not wait for external validation. Do not look to your current circumstances for confirmation. The moment you feel it is real. The time delay between feeling and manifestation is only an illusion created by the physical world. If you persist in the feeling, reality has no choice but to follow. Live in the state of already having, and it will be yours. The universe does not grant wishes, it reflects your state of being. Feel it now, and it must come to pass. Faith is the foundation of all manifestation. It is the unwavering confidence that what you have declared is already yours, even when your senses suggest otherwise. Faith does not question, does not hope, does not waver, it simply knows. When you operate from this deep inner conviction, nothing can stand in the way of your manifestation. The only thing that delays your desire is doubt. Doubt weakens the bridge between your inner world and its external reflection. It creates resistance, forcing you to oscillate between belief and disbelief, between certainty and fear. Until doubt is removed, your manifestation remains suspended, waiting for you to fully claim it. Most people sabotage their manifestations because they mix faith with doubt. They affirm their desires, yet constantly look for proof in the physical world. The moment they do not see immediate results, they allow doubt to creep in. They question if it is working, they wonder if they are doing something wrong, they search for signs, and in doing so, they undo the very work they have set in motion. Faith does not seek validation from the external world. It does not need evidence to believe. Faith is the evidence. It stands firm in the knowing that what is unseen will inevitably be seen. Doubt is nothing more than a habit of the mind, a conditioned response based on past experiences and societal beliefs. It is not real unless you make it real. The moment you accept doubt as truth, you give it power. The mind is always creating, always shaping reality according to the dominant belief it holds. If your dominant belief is faith, your world will reflect certainty, progress, and fulfillment. If your dominant belief is doubt, your world will reflect confusion, stagnation, and delay. The choice is always yours. You do not need to struggle to have faith. You do not need to force belief. Faith is natural. It is already within you. Think about something as simple as the rising sun. You do not question whether it will appear each morning. You simply know it will. That same certainty must be applied to your manifestations. You must know that your desire is already yours, that it has been set in motion the moment you claimed it, and that nothing can prevent its fulfillment unless you allow doubt to intervene. The key to unwavering faith is persistence. The external world may present challenges. Your senses may try to deceive you, but none of it matters if you refuse to accept anything other than your desired outcome. You must see with the inner eye, beyond appearances, beyond logic, beyond circumstances. The world you see is only a reflection of past beliefs. It is not a fixed reality. The moment you shift your inner conviction, the outer world must follow. To strengthen faith, remove all hesitation from your words and thoughts. Speak as though your desire is already a fact. Do not say, "I hope it happens." Say, "It is done." Do not say, "Maybe it will come." Say, "It is already mine." This is not self-deception. This is the language of creation. When you speak with authority, the universe must respond accordingly. The energy of certainty carries far more power than the energy of wishful thinking. Doubt has no power of its own. It only has the power you give it. The moment you refuse to entertain it, it disappears. Every time you affirm your faith, you weaken doubt. Every time you persist despite appearances, you take another step toward realization. It is a mental discipline, a commitment to the unseen truth over the visible illusion. When you truly embody faith, the process becomes effortless. You no longer wonder when your desire will arrive, because you understand that it already exists. You no longer seek signs because you know the universe is already working on your behalf. You no longer feel the need to ask repeatedly because you recognize that one declaration, spoken with conviction, is enough. Stand firm in your knowing. Do not waver. Do not question. Do not allow the outside world to dictate what is possible for you. Faith is the only reality. When you hold it without compromise, manifestation is inevitable. The moment you declare what is yours, the universe begins to rearrange itself to bring it into form. But to allow this process to unfold, you must release it. Detachment is the final act of faith, the silent knowing that what you have asked for is already on its way. It is not your job to force, chase, or control how it comes. The more you try to manipulate the process, the more you introduce resistance, delaying what is already meant to be yours. True mastery in manifestation comes when you can ask, believe, and then let go. Many struggle with detachment because they do not trust the unseen forces at work. They feel the need to constantly check, worry, and question whether their desire is manifesting. This attachment to outcome stems from fear. Fear that it might not happen, fear that they are doing something wrong, fear that they are missing something. But fear is the opposite of faith. The moment you hold on to doubt, you disrupt the natural flow of manifestation. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that nature is taking care of it. You water it, give it sunlight, and allow it the time it needs to bloom. The same principle applies to manifestation. The desire you have set forth is already growing beneath the surface. It does not need your constant interference. It needs your trust. Detachment is not indifference. It does not mean that you stop wanting what you desire. It means that you are so certain of its fulfillment that you no longer obsess over it. You no longer beg for it, worry about it, or wonder when it will arrive. You simply move forward, living as though it is already done, knowing that what is yours can never be denied. The paradox of manifestation is this: the more desperate you are for something, the more it eludes you. Why? Because desperation carries the energy of lack. When you chase, you affirm that it is not yet yours. When you worry, you declare uncertainty. When you force, you operate from a place of resistance. But when you detach, you signal absolute trust. You move from wanting to knowing, from doubt to certainty, from anxiety to peace. And in that state, your manifestation flows to you effortlessly. Many believe that taking constant action will bring results faster, but manifestation is not about doing more. It is about aligning with the state of already having. Inspired action is different from forced action. Inspired action flows naturally. It feels effortless and aligned. Forced action, on the other hand, is driven by fear and impatience. It is the restless mind trying to control what is beyond its grasp. When you trust, you act from intuition rather than desperation, and every step you take leads you closer to your desire. To practice detachment, shift your focus away from waiting. Do not look at the clock. Do not measure time. Do not check for signs every moment. Instead, immerse yourself in the joy of the present. Act as if your desire has already manifested. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the fulfillment. The more you embody the energy of already having, the faster it arrives. Understand that the universe knows the perfect timing. What you seek is not just about you. It is part of a larger orchestration where everything aligns in divine order. If something is taking time, it is not because you are being denied. It is because the perfect conditions are being arranged. Trust that what is meant for you is already secured. Your only job is to maintain the feeling of certainty and let go of the need to control. The final test of faith is your ability to detach. If you can walk away from your desire knowing that it is already yours, you have mastered the art of creation. You will see that the moment you stop chasing, it starts coming. The moment you release, it arrives. And when it does, you will realize it was never about forcing reality to change. It was about changing yourself to match the reality you desire. Your words are not just sounds, they are commands to the universe, instructions to your subconscious mind, and seeds planted in the field of reality. Every word you speak carries creative power, shaping your world in ways you may not even realize. The life you live today is a direct reflection of the words you have spoken, both consciously and unconsciously over time. If you want to change your reality, you must first change your words. Many people speak carelessly, unaware of the power behind their words. They say things like, "I never have enough money, I always get sick, nothing ever works out for me," and then they wonder why life keeps presenting them with the same struggles. The universe does not question whether what you say is good or bad, right or wrong. It simply responds. It takes your words as truth and arranges circumstances to match them. When you repeatedly affirm something, you are reinforcing that reality, bringing it into existence with greater strength. If you want to transform your life, you must become intentional with your words. Speak only of what you wish to create. Declare abundance, even when you do not yet see it. Speak health, even if you are unwell. Affirm love, even if you feel lonely. This is not about denying your current reality. It is about choosing the reality you wish to experience. Your words serve as the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. Words spoken with belief carry immense creative power. A simple phrase spoken with conviction can bring forth miracles. This is why affirmations are so effective. When you consistently declare something as true, you train your mind to accept it. And once your mind accepts it, your external world begins to align with it. This is not wishful thinking, it is a fundamental law of creation. What you internalize and affirm repeatedly will eventually manifest in your physical world. The key is to speak as if it is already done. Do not say, "I will be successful one day." Instead say, "I am successful now." The future is an illusion. Everything exists in the now. When you declare something in the present tense, you impress it upon your subconscious mind as a current reality, not a distant possibility. Your subconscious does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what you consistently feed it. This is why negative words are so dangerous. Many people speak against themselves without realizing it. They say, "I am so unlucky, I always mess things up," or "I am not good enough." These statements are not harmless, they are instructions. When you repeat them, you are affirming limitations and reinforcing a reality you do not want. The subconscious mind takes everything literally. If you constantly affirm struggle, it will create conditions that confirm your words. But the good news is you can reverse this. You can begin right now to speak words of power, words that uplift, words that create the life you truly desire. Begin affirming, "Everything is always working out for me. I am worthy of all the good in the world. I am attracting endless opportunities. I am surrounded by love and abundance." At first, your logical mind may resist these statements because it has been conditioned to believe otherwise. But if you persist, if you keep repeating them with conviction, they will take root. And once they take root, they will grow into tangible reality. Words, when spoken with emotion, accelerate manifestation. It is not enough to say the right words. You must feel them. Speak them with passion, with certainty, with the absolute belief that they are true. When you declare, "I am wealthy," feel the freedom and confidence that wealth brings. When you say, "I am loved," allow yourself to experience the warmth and joy of love. Your emotions are the fuel that gives life to your words. Understand that you are always creating with your words, whether consciously or unconsciously. Choose to speak only that which you wish to see manifest. Let your words be a tool for empowerment, not limitation. Let them build, not destroy. And most importantly, let them affirm the truth of who you really are, a limitless creator, capable of shaping your reality with every word you speak. Everything in your life is a reflection of the words you have consistently spoken, the beliefs you have held, and the feelings you have nurtured. Manifestation is not about hoping or wishing, it is about knowing, declaring, and allowing. Your imagination shapes your reality, your present moment holds the key, your feelings set the foundation, and your faith removes all doubt. Detachment accelerates the process, and your words become the final command that brings everything into form. You are always creating, whether you realize it or not. The question is not whether you are manifesting, but what you are manifesting. If you speak lack, you will experience lack. If you affirm struggle, struggle will follow. But the moment you take control of your words, your emotions, and your beliefs, you shift your entire reality. You no longer wait for things to happen, you declare them as done. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer hope, you know. Speak with conviction, feel with certainty, trust the unseen, and most importantly, detach from the how and when. Once you declare something as yours, the universe will respond in ways beyond your imagination. Let go of fear, doubt, and impatience. Walk with confidence, knowing that everything is already unfolding in your favor. Thank you for listening, and may you use these truths to shape a life of abundance, joy, and limitless possibilities.